Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oluwaseyi Onide. It excites me to bring you on this show titled Do It Yourself Clean. In fact, this is my first edition in my YouTube series that will be coming your way regularly. And on this show, we're going to be talking about how to solve your cleaning and hygiene challenges, like how to remove stains from your walls, from your floors, how to eradicate pests in your home, pests like rats, roaches, geckos, and co. And talking about geckos, we're starting this edition by talking about wall geckos. Geckos generally are a nuisance in the house. A lot of us, including myself, we do not like their sight. In fact, there are some superstitious beliefs attached to geckos in some parts of Nigeria, that once they are in your house, they are being sent by witches and wizards and co. But generally, they are not a good sight. The first thing we need to establish going forward is, what is gecko, or what do geckos do in your house? The geckos have not come to look at your furniture or the color of your paint. They are in your house for the primary reason of feeding. Food. They have come for food in your house, and their primary food are insects. They feed on roaches, they feed on mosquitoes, they feed on flies. So if these insects can find their way into your homes, you can be rest assured that the geckos will come after them, because the geckos smell them from miles away. So the first thing we'll need to talk about is, how do the insects get in, before being followed by the geckos. The insects get in through holes, through crevices, through gaps underneath your doors, by your windows and co. And sometimes these holes and gaps may exist without you knowing. The fastest way, or the easiest way to test for holes and gaps in your house, under your doors, windows, even your ceiling, is by turning on the light at night and stepping out of the apartment. Once you can see the light ray from inside your room, from your apartment, while standing outside, it means there are spaces, maybe from under the door, by the window. Once you can see the light rays, there are spaces. So the first thing you want to do is how to block these spaces, so that these insects cannot get in. And you see, geckos, wall geckos, they have a collapsible body, just like the rats. Once they want to enter into your home, the smallest of spaces can take them in, because they just squeeze themselves and the body collapses and they come in. So after identifying these spots, these holes, you need to set to work to block them. Maybe you want to call a carpenter, maybe you want to stuff it with something, you want to put a door stopper, whatever you can do to block these spaces and gap, so that the insects coming in will be reduced. After doing that, we need to know that there are some insects in the house already. You can eradicate them by spraying your house regularly with aerosol, known as fleet in our climes here. And you can also use deterrents like camphors. And talking about use of aerosol, there are times you deliberately make it a very large dose, so that it can travel around every space within your house. You can do this on a day that you step out and you are going to be taking hours to come back. And after doing that, we also need to be persistent by using deterrents. Like I said earlier, you can use camphor, you can use benzyl bulbs or benzyl disc. I don't want to mention brand name, but the easiest you can talk about benzyl is a sunshine block or camphor. This deters insect and they keep away from your spaces. And still talking about deterrents, geckos have one major thing that irritates them, and it is your good old garlic. You peel your garlic, about 5 to 8 cloves, mash it or grind it, add it to half a liter of water and pour your solution into a spray can. You spray the entrances with this solution and the gaps that you have blocked. And anytime you sight a gecko in your house, spray directly on them. It irritates them and they keep away from that environment. You might also want to look at fumigation. You see, fumigation can be in many parts. If you call in your professional, they can give you what we call a broad spectrum fumigation. Aside from spraying the house with fumigants, they will leave baits and deterrents on the floor that also prevent insects from staying around. You may want to consider fumigation. But in considering fumigation, you have to also be prepared to deal with the challenges that come with fumigation. For example, if you have asthmatic patients, if you have toddlers that are under 18 months, we recommend that if you want to fumigate this kind of apartments, those kind of people should stay away for at least a week plus. 14 days to be safe for asthmatic patients and for toddlers under 18 months. Finally, the last option I want us to look at, I wouldn't even call this an option. It is one major factor you must consider if you want to manage insects in your house very well. It is the effect of light. Your main entrance should have amber light. I'm talking about your front door, your back door, your side door, any entrance that you use regularly. Amber light, amber color is that color on your traffic light that tells you ready to go or ready to stop. Some people call it yellow, but it's actually amber. So, what does this light do to insects and geckos? Insects, geckos, and most animals, they see in black and white. So, this light prevents them from seeing properly at night. So, everywhere you find a ray of the light, the insects stay away. Same with the gecko. So, after taking care of inside, you also need to take care of the outside because you keep moving in and out in the evening. So the amber light needs to be installed. I thank you for joining me in this edition. I will be expecting your comments, your feedback, and even your requests with challenges concerning your cleaning and hygiene needs. Until I come your way again, I say do it yourself clean. Thank you for joining us.